To help Jennifer Delaney seize power, I proposed a fake marriage. Why would you help me? She asked, confused. It's mutual, I replied. My parents are always on my case about partying and wasting my life. If we're married, you'll have to help me cover it up. She agreed without a second thought. What she didn't know was that I wasn't the reckless playboy she hated. I had been in love with her for 8 years. Later, she got what she wanted, became the head of the Delaney family, and reunited with her first love. I figured it was time to end this fake marriage. But she looked at me with red-rimmed eyes, her soft body pressing against mine, all pitiful and fragile. Baby, why don't you want me anymore? The girl I liked was named Jennifer. Back at our elite high school, a place packed with rich kids where spoiled brats were the norm, she was the real deal. Straight A+ student, student council president, teacher's favorite, the pride of the school, the golden child among second-generation elites. She stood out wherever she went, always glowing in the crowd. Every time I saw her, it felt like my heart was about to leap out of my chest. But those dumbasses, too inexperienced and narrow-minded, had the nerve to say Jennifer was too assertive to trigger a man's protective instincts, claiming that she fundamentally lacked feminine charm. Bullshit! The truth was, they were just weaklings, no skills, no guts, and couldn't get the attention of someone so extraordinary, so they just chalked it up to her being too much to handle. Sour grapes, plain and simple. I wasn't like them. Sure, I was also a good-for-nothing rich kid with no talent and no courage. But at least I wasn't in denial. Jennifer was the best girl in the world, period. I asked Tony to help me figure out how to win her over. Tony shuddered. You're really going after Jennifer? He asked. I nodded. She's the kind of girl who'd call out the principal in public, man. You sure you want to chase someone like that? Tony shuddered again. Oh, he must have been thinking of Jennifer's latest awe-inspiring moment that had stolen my heart all over again. A while back, we got a new principal, some rigid, middle-aged man. He made a rule that all girls had to wear uniform skirts every day. Pants were no longer allowed, and the girls had to pair their skirts with Japanese-style white-knee high socks. To emphasize the rule, the principal gave a long, pompous speech on stage. Girls should look like girls. Wearing skirts was polite. Short hair made girls look rebellious, and so on. He ended by ordering the student council to strictly enforce the rule. Any girl who broke it would be penalized. Before he could even finish, Jennifer, the student council president, marched onto the stage with a mic in hand. She fired back with a series of sharp, powerful questions. Principal, who gets to decide what a girl should look like? I believe every girl's true self is what makes her a girl. In ancient times, Mulan disguised herself as a man and joined the army for her father. She earned praise for being as brave as any man. So how come in the 21st century, a girl wanting to look strong suddenly becomes improper? Principal, did you just time travel here from the Qing dynasty? Our school motto is rooted in Chinese spirit with a global vision. Tell me, Principal, which part of what you just said aligns with a global perspective? You're disrespecting diversity, acting autocratic and outdated. How are you supposed to shape students into global citizens? Every word from Jennifer was sharp and powerful. No one dared breathe, let alone interrupt her, including the principal. Only when she finished did the crowd erupt in cheers. Unsurprisingly, that new rule was quietly dropped. Although most of the students at our school came from influential families, the new principal was a shareholder in the school's investment group. His social clout wasn't something to mess with. So unlike those fantasy rich kid dramas, our school wasn't the kind where the principal bowed to the students. Jennifer publicly challenging him wasn't without risk. It was right around the time of our global college entrance exams. If the principal got pissed and expelled her, she'd be forced to take a gap year, which would be a huge setback for her education. But Jennifer didn't hesitate. She stood up for the girls to not be boxed into narrow definitions. Tony said every time he recalled Jennifer's thunderous words, her unstoppable, warrior-like presence, it felt like he was crushed by an invisible wave of dominance. His legs went weak. Ever since then, Tony tried to avoid Jennifer in person. What a coward. I looked down on him. I was different. When I thought of Jennifer like that, I felt like my heart could burst from how cool she was. You're never gonna win her over, Tony said. She doesn't even like guys. He added, just look at her mom. Jennifer's mom was the head of the Delaney group. Some said she had Jennifer via sperm bank. Others said she had been married, but cut the father out of the picture after Jennifer was born. Over the years, many successful businessmen in Jiang City had tried to become Jennifer's dad, but none had succeeded. The Delaney matriarch always kept to herself, entirely focused on her career. No man ever had a chance. I did feel a bit discouraged thinking about it, but then I cheered up. If Jennifer wanted, I could be her sperm bank or the guy she kept but left out of the picture. I didn't have any special talents, but I was good looking. My genes weren't bad at all. If she'd just give me a tiny chance to get close, I'd make sure she'd never want to leave me. Tony was wrong. Jennifer did like men, it just wasn't me. Damn it. That pretty boy, that damn transfer student. It was the first time I saw Jennifer smile so softly. Her usual calm elegance mixed with a gentle shyness, like a rose about to bloom bright and bashful. She looked stunning. My heart ached so badly I could hear my teeth grinding. Don't ask. That grinding sound? Yeah, that's me. I wanted to chew that transfer student up, bone by bone, until there was nothing left, just so he'd disappear from Jennifer's world forever. Give it up, Luke! Tony doused me again. Even if Jennifer likes guys, she only likes someone like Carlos Mera. You and Carlos are on completely opposite ends of the spectrum. Carlos, that was the transfer student's name. What's so great about him? Pale skin and good grades? He's just a nerd. Why does Jennifer like him? You're being unfair, Luke. Carlos isn't just a nerd, he's a genius the school brought in specifically to aim for Oxford and Cambridge, Tony added, raining on my parade without mercy. I snapped. Whose side are you even on? Yours, obviously. That's why I'm telling you to give up, Tony said. You and Jennifer are from different worlds. Why did she fall for Carlos so fast? Because they're both top students, equal in talent, soulmates in ambition. Even without Carlos, someone like her would never look twice at slackers like us. Why are you so hung up on Jennifer? Wouldn't it be better to find someone who actually likes you? Give up? Ha! Not in this lifetime! Having a brother like you is just my bad luck, Tony yelled. If you're hell-bent on chasing Jennifer, fine, but don't embarrass the rest of us. I didn't get what he meant. I'll handle the whole thing. You don't need to understand, Tony said. You'll find out soon enough. Well, damn. Tony's so-called plan was to destroy my reputation. I don't know what he spread around, but within days, the whole school knew about my so-called romantic escapades. Stuff like how I'd had a string of girlfriends since childhood, or how the line of girls wanting to date me stretched from our school gate all the way to Paris. That I lived wild and free, but had a soft spot for sweet, well-behaved girls. Are you helping me or sabotaging me? I couldn't help but punch Tony. With a womanizer rep like this, why would Jennifer ever give me a second glance? Tony dodged my punch with ease and said righteously, Hear me out. Hear me out. Fine, talk. I wanted to see what crap he was cooking up this time. Tony said I wasn't Jennifer's type at all. If I went after her directly, I'd only get rejected and lose even our current status as casual acquaintances. So, I had to do the opposite. Pretend I wasn't interested. That way she wouldn't be on guard. I'd start as a friend, slowly build a bond, and then find my chance to win her over. But as a sunny, cheerful guy, if I kept hanging around her, even an idiot would figure out my intentions. That's why the playboy persona was crucial. I had girls all around me, never lacking admirers, never needing to chase anyone. That way, I could strike when the time was right, do a complete 180, show her I was ready to give up the whole world just for her. That'd melt her heart. And if I never won her over, well, at least my pride stayed intact. I'd still be a man's man, respected in and out of the circle. The theory sounded kinda dumb, but also kinda convincing. What the hell? Might as well give it a shot. So I started sneaking around, looking for ways to get close to Jennifer. To be honest, it was a bit tough. She was in Class A, and I was in Class F. Our paths rarely crossed. Even with my notorious playboy rep, she didn't seem even slightly curious about me until one morning, during self-study, when I showed up late. That day, Jennifer was on duty. As I walked into the building, She stopped me and asked for my name in class. Then, with those beautiful, slender fingers, she wrote my name down in her little notebook, one neat stroke at a time. My God! She spoke to me! She personally wrote down my name! And I was standing right next to her, so close that I could see the shadow her long lashes cast beneath her eyes when she looked down. I was in a daze the whole morning, buzzing with energy, itching to run laps around the track. I'd finally found a way to get close to her without tipping her off. From then on, I made sure to be late whenever she was on duty. Got caught smoking by her. Got caught sneaking food delivery by her. The more she caught me, the more familiar we got. Eventually, she even smiled at me. You again, Luke Dawson. Her smile was beautiful. Tony, the sour lemon, insisted it was a helpless smile. Helpless, my ass! That was a caring smile! Fine, let's say it was caring. But please, man, our class has been dead last in rankings every month. The homeroom teacher's about to explode. Chill. It's no big deal. I stuffed a 5-digit red envelope into the teacher's drawer the next day. Your bonus is on me. Just let me break a few rules in peace. But the homeroom teacher didn't take my bribe. Instead, he made me write a self-reflection and memorize the school code. If I didn't, he'd call my dad and cut off my allowance. No being late, no skipping class, no smoking. Every rule in that damn code annoyed me. Except for one, my favorite one. No dating. With that rule in place, Jennifer and Carlos wouldn't dare take things further before graduation. Perfect! I finished my reflection, but kept breaking rules anyway. That's how Jennifer and I got close in the weirdest way possible. You're really strange, Jennifer said. You break the rules more than anyone, but you always have the best attitude when getting punished. Since you're so good at apologizing, why not actually fix your behavior for once? I chuckled. If I hadn't broken all those rules, how else would I have made such a lasting impression on her? I suddenly felt like teasing her. Is our president concerned about me? If you're willing to supervise me, I'd be happy to turn over a new leaf. Cold, well-behaved honor student saving a rebellious, charming bad boy. What a great pairing. Jennifer rolled her eyes. Not interested. I panicked. How can you not be interested? As student council president, isn't helping classmates improve part of the job? Jennifer looked at me with those clear, luminous eyes, serious for the first time. My heart was pounding. Luke, you're not a child. You know exactly what you're doing, and you can take responsibility for it. Why would you need someone else to keep you in check? I got lost in the crystalline clarity of her gaze. By the time I snapped out of it, she was already walking away. Oh, if only I could be looked at like that by Jennifer every day. Over 3 years of school life, my relationship with Jennifer stayed lukewarm friends. Maybe, but maybe not. I broke rules for 3 whole years and still hadn't found a way to take it further. Tony popped up again, trying to convince me to give up. Funny, like that's ever gonna happen. If 3 years weren't enough, I'll give it another 3. You really think you can be college classmates with Jennifer? Tony sneered. What's that supposed to mean? Jennifer got into Oxford. I got into Oxford Brooks. We were the only 2 in our school going to that city. Everyone else either couldn't get into Oxford or thought Brooks wasn't good enough. Lucky me, a familiar face in a foreign land. Wasn't this fate handing me a golden opportunity? And the best part, Carlos had changed course and gone to the US. Smart move! But Jennifer seemed heartbroken. I saw her smiling as she wished him well at his dream school, then turning away, eyes red. My chest ached like it'd been stabbed. Hands, louds. If only one day Jennifer would get teary-eyed for me too. But I despised Carlos. He had promised Jennifer they'd go to the UK together, then backed out. What kind of man doesn't keep his word? Sure, his move worked out in my favor, but I still looked down on him. Meanwhile, I was already daydreaming about life abroad. In that unfamiliar city, Jennifer and I would be the only ones who knew each other. It was only natural to help each other out, right? And if we kept spending time together like that, well, who knows what might happen. But I forgot Jennifer was fiercely independent. She didn't need anyone looking out for her. If the mountain wouldn't come to me, I'd go to the mountain. She didn't need help, but I could need her. President Jennifer, come shopping with me for daily necessities? You know me, I suck at English. Let's explore the city together. You know me, I suck at English. I can't make sense of this paper at all. We're in the same major. Help me out, won't you? Jennifer would often sigh and say, Luke Dawson, if it's really that bad, why don't you have your family hire you a private tutor? I'd look at her, wounded. I'm just so dumb. I must be causing you so much trouble. It's all my fault. If only I were smarter. Jennifer gave me a strange look. You really don't have to be like this. Be like what? Are you like this around those girls too? The ones lining up from the school gate to Paris? Jennifer asked, then added cautiously, carefully picking her words. This? Flirting? My God, somebody help me! Jennifer brought up my rumored girlfriends, more or less. She was jealous. Even if she wasn't, she was definitely curious about me. Ha 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 ha! Woo-hoo-hoo! I barely suppressed the smile tugging at my lips. Of course not. Not to mention I never even fooled around with any other girls, just normal interactions. And I would never act this affected or soft with anyone else. Only Jennifer could get this version of me, gentle, patient, eager. Jennifer gave a soft, oh, and didn't ask further. Suddenly, a thought hit me. All these years of faking a Playboy image, what did Jennifer really think of me? Did she see me as unreliable, or worse, unclean? I asked her directly. Jennifer gave me a puzzled glance. Luke, we're just friends. Why would I have an opinion about your personal life? As long as you're happy, that's what matters. I couldn't really describe how I felt. Maybe I should have been happy that we were now closer friends. But for some reason, melancholy wrapped around me like smoke. Honestly, I'd thought about coming clean. After all this time, still hiding my feelings, it was kind of pathetic. But every time I saw how Jennifer handled guys she wasn't interested in, I gave up. Jennifer was ruthless. Any boy who tried to approach her secretly would get quietly distanced. Anyone bold enough to confess would be met with a polite smile. She'd tell them she knew how they felt but didn't accept it. If they pushed further, she'd block and delete them. And the next time they met, all they'd get was a blank stranger's stare. Or worse than a stranger. If I charged in blindly, I might lose even the chance to be her friend. Once, I gently asked her why she had to be so heartless. We were having hot pot together, and through the rising steam, she looked at me with a half smile. Actually, I'm more curious about something else. How do you manage to be so open to everyone who comes your way? What do you mean open to everyone? Where did this rumor even come from? Speaking of which, since you came abroad, why haven't you been partying nonstop? Instead, you keep bugging me about academic stuff? Jennifer suddenly looked at me with suspicion, and I couldn't help but shiver. I had to keep up the Playboy act, if not, I'd be next on her block list. It's my old man. He said if I don't graduate, I won't inherit a dime. I thought studying abroad meant more freedom, but man, it's the opposite. It's so frustrating. I sounded so convincing, even I almost believed it. President, I'm begging you, please help me. I took the chance to play the pitiful card again. Jennifer nodded. You're an old friend. Of course I will. Then she sent me 2 tutor contacts on WeChat. They're my Oxford classmates, looking to earn some pocket money. Same major as you. Don't be shy. Sometimes I really wanted to bite her. Jennifer was probably sick of me. Why else would she be this cold and dismissive? I got so rattled, I didn't dare try to get close to her again for a while. I was terrified she'd grow annoyed and block me, so I decided to back off for now. Well, great. I backed off, and she never once messaged me first. Absolutely hopeless. About a month later, she finally texted me. I hadn't even had time to get excited before she said, You didn't contact the tutors I recommended? Me. Gave up. Decided to party every night instead. Her. Oh, she just owed me. I was so speechless I could scream. But after turning it over in my head, I couldn't bear to let go of this opportunity. I mean, she messaged me first. Me. What have you been up to lately? Her. Classes, research, library, homework. Oxford is intense. Honestly, on this path of chasing Jennifer, I've been feeling pretty lost sometimes. I don't know what I could ever offer her. She's so strong, so independent, so self-sufficient. She can live a full life all on her own. Maybe she does hope for someone like-minded by her side, but could that really be me? I feel like I'm trapped in a paradox. The closer I get to her, the further she seems. Years of university passed, just like that. Never too close, never too far. Maybe I've made some progress, but the goal still feels impossibly distant. Like I've walked 100,000 meters on Earth, but my destination is on Mars. I don't have a spaceship. Everything I do feels like a foolish fantasy. And for some reason, the older I get, the more that youthful fire and confidence fades. I've even come to terms with the most likely outcome, that Jennifer and I will always stay like this, never close, never far. Maybe one day I'll be at her wedding as a guest, invited to witness her love story. And she'll never know that I once loved her for a very, very long time. Thank you for the special invitation to witness your love. Damn it. Why is this Western cafe playing Chinese love songs? Did they even pay the licensing fees? After returning home, Tony dragged me out to party every night. He was studying media and had started his own entertainment company, always surrounded by gorgeous women. He tried to talk some sense into me. Luke, you've been hung up on Jennifer for years. Let it go, man. Time to look elsewhere. I really tried to take his advice, but it was all so boring. Seriously boring. All those girls, whether sweet or sexy or seductive, they all looked the same to me. They didn't shine. After all this time, I've only ever seen one girl who truly shined. That girl was Jennifer. She's like a 1,000-watt spotlight, Tony sighed. But no matter how bright she is, her light never touches you. So why keep chasing it, Luke? Yeah. Her light doesn't shine on me, but I still love her. Even if I can only watch from the sidelines forever, I still love her. Later, Tony gave me a mysterious gift. I can't help you chase the real Jennifer, but here, this might ease your pain a little. It was a pair of VR gaming goggles. When I put them on, I was stunned to find it was an interactive game modeled after the real Jennifer. My face turned bright red after just a minute of watching, and then I beat Tony up. Who else has seen this? Anyone? Tony yelped, dodging my punches. No one! No one! It only used preloaded facial data, and the final face-body synthesis happened the moment you booted it up. Only you have seen it! At least he had some boundaries. If Jennifer ever finds out about this, she'll kill me, I muttered. Then make sure she never finds out. What, you think you'll actually bring Jennifer home in this lifetime? Tony rolled his eyes. So, do you want it or not? If not, I'm taking it back. I want it, I growled through gritted teeth. I couldn't risk even the slightest chance of this getting out. Tony smirked like he saw it coming. Honestly, the game wasn't even that interesting. The Jennifer inside was obviously fake. She didn't shine at all. I lost interest quickly and tossed it aside. But that night, I couldn't stop myself from dreaming. It wasn't my first time dreaming of Jennifer, but this one left me restless and flustered. My body and soul ached with longing. God, can't you give me just one real chance to get close to Jennifer? That chance came suddenly. To be honest, if I had known it would come like this, I'd rather not have it at all. Jennifer's mother died in a car crash, leaving Delaney Group leaderless. Her grandfather and uncle tried to seize the opportunity to push Jennifer out and take over. I'd heard the story of the Delaney Group's rise. Jennifer's grandfather founded it and intended to pass it to his son, but his son was so incompetent that he nearly ran the company into the ground. In the end, it was Jennifer's mother who stepped in and saved it. She built it from a struggling little business into an industry leader. Everyone on the outside assumed Old Man Delaney would have left most of the shares to his daughter, but it wasn't so. Jennifer's grandfather and uncle together held 45% of the shares. Her mother only had 30%, with the rest scattered among minor shareholders. Now, with Jennifer's mother suddenly gone, the minor shareholders were panicking. Her grandfather and uncle were trying to buy up those loose shares and gain controlling interest. They wanted to reap the fruits of her mother's lifelong efforts. Jennifer, of course, wouldn't let that happen. She wanted to protect her mother's legacy. But she was on her own. It wouldn't be easy. The minor shareholders trusted Jennifer's mother, but not necessarily her. Jennifer needed support, strong allies, someone to calm the anxious shareholders and convince them to believe in her. But in this world, everyone calculates their own risks. She was clearly at a disadvantage. Who would help her for nothing in return? Her grandfather and uncle were counting on that, so they didn't take her struggles seriously. What they didn't know was I would. I always would. For the first time, I was grateful to my parents for giving me a background equal to hers. If Jennifer and I got married, she'd have the Dawson Group behind her. She could not only stabilize the shareholders, but even buy back stock and crush her grandfather and uncle. So I went to Jennifer and proposed a contract marriage. It was the first time I'd seen Jennifer so fragile eyes, red, face drawn, her whole body radiating a delicate do-not-touch vibe. Just looking at her made my heart ache. I wanted to hold her tight and tell her, "It's okay. You still have me." For her, the sadness wasn't just about losing her mother. It was also about the cold, cruel hearts exposed after her mother's death. Her own family, stabbing her in the back without shame. Contract marriage? "But I don't have anything to offer you, Luke," she said, confused by my proposal. "Says who?" I played it casual. "You don't know this, but my parents have been nagging me to get married. They hate it when I hang out with pretty girls. If we get married, you'll have to help me deal with them. Cover for me when I go out and have fun." With a condition that made it sound like an even trade, she nodded in agreement. Tony called me an idiot. "You had the perfect chance. You should have just told her you've loved her for years and asked her to marry you. What the hell is this contract marriage crap?" I just smiled and didn't explain. Jennifer already had too much on her plate. Adding a confession of love would only create more pressure. If I brought up marriage as part of that love, it would start to feel manipulative, like I was taking advantage of her pain to force her into something. Only this so-called contract, this cooperative agreement, would let her accept it without feeling burdened. I never wanted to see proud Jennifer bow her head for anything not even to me. Just in case anyone investigates, we should get a real marriage certificate, I suggested. Jennifer didn't say no. Truthfully, I had a selfish reason for suggesting it. I didn't know what the future would hold. Maybe after she stabilized her position in Delaney Group, she'd want to end the relationship. That was probably how it would go. But even so, it didn't matter. At least, she had really married me. The law would back it up. We got the certificate quickly. The wedding followed soon after. It was so grand it caught media attention. Delaney and Dawson joined forces wedding of the century. When we were planning the ceremony, Jennifer repeatedly said it didn't need to be extravagant. "As long as the public knows we're married, that's enough," she said. To her, it was just going through the motions, but to me, it was a dream come true. I'd imagined it countless times, Jennifer in a white gown, walking toward me, step by step. Us exchanging rings, saying "I do" to a lifetime together. So how could I let the wedding be half-hearted? It had to be perfect. It would be the memory I held on to forever. "You know, my family doesn't do low-key. We have to make it look convincing. If we make it look too modest, people will get suspicious," I explained. Jennifer didn't argue after that. Watching her walk toward me in that wedding dress was even more breathtaking than I imagined. In that moment, the whole world faded away. I could only see her. She acted the part well, smiling sweetly, eyes full of affection. Her gaze was filled with tenderness, like a blissful bride. At that moment, I truly felt I could die without regrets. One thought echoed in my mind. I really married Jennifer. I played a little trick at the wedding. I told the officiant to make sure there was a kiss the bride moment. This part hadn't been in the original plan, so Jennifer had no idea. When the officiant made the announcement, her cheeks turned red instantly. She looked like a peach blossom in spring. I pretended to be just as surprised. "Must be a last-minute addition to lighten the mood. If you don't want to, everyone's waiting," she whispered, then gently closed her eyes. Shameless as ever, I immediately wrapped my arms around her waist and kissed her soft lips. It felt even better than I had imagined. Jennifer's eyelashes fluttered several times, and her breathing grew erratic from nervousness. I couldn't help deepening the kiss. Her tiny hand, pressed against my chest, clenched tight. It wasn't until someone whistled from the crowd that I snapped back to my senses. I had definitely gone overboard. "I'm sorry," I mouthed. She gave me a glance dripping with mixed emotions, half anger, half blame, and something else entirely. What was I supposed to do with that? My heart was already itching for more, and I did get sneakier. For instance, I told her my parents wanted to live with us, so our original plan of separate rooms had to be scrapped. I claimed we needed to look like a loving newlywed couple and used it as an excuse to kiss her and hug her around the house. I even had the sofa in the bedroom removed ahead of time, so we'd have no choice but to sleep in the same bed. Then, once she was asleep, I'd pull her into my arms, drape her hand and leg over me, and the next morning I'd righteously declare it was she who had clung to me in her sleep. I constantly found chances to go out with her, shamelessly calling her wifey and listening to her call me hubby in return. All that and more. I was despicable, shameless, addicted and wanting more. I felt something slipping out of my control. At first, I thought just having a marriage with Jennifer, even if it ended in separation, would be enough. But now, I couldn't accept that fate anymore. Being with Jennifer day and night felt too good. I couldn't bear the thought of letting go. Just imagining her ending this ridiculous marriage and leaving me made my chest feel stuffed with dry hay, so heavy I could barely breathe. I didn't want to let go. I couldn't. I was pretty sure Jennifer would soon bring up ending our agreement, because she had already fully taken control of Delaney Group. Jennifer had always been capable, and with the Dawson name backing her, she quickly gained the support of the minor shareholders and became acting CEO. Then, in a bold move, she bought out some of their shares at prices above market value. Now, holding 51% of Delaney, she had complete control. She even managed to outmaneuver her grandfather and uncle, removing them from the core leadership. With her goals achieved, why would she still stay in this fake marriage? Besides, lately she had shown signs of impatience. Sometimes she'd talk to me in a way that felt sharp, like she was holding back irritation. But when I asked, she said nothing was wrong. At night, she'd sleep right on the edge of the bed, a clear line between us, saying she didn't want to roll into my arms by accident anymore. She even started keeping her distance, refusing to go out with me often. I figured she couldn't wait to end things, not just because she no longer needed the marriage, but more importantly, because Carlos had returned. The first thing Carlos did upon coming back was visit Jennifer at Delaney Group. I happened to be there that day. Standing outside the office, I heard Carlos confessing his feelings to her, saying he had never stopped thinking about her, that he was too young back then to realize how precious first love was, and that he hoped for another chance. I didn't listen any further. I was afraid that if I did, I'd have nowhere to put the pain in my chest. Carlos still carried a torch for her. I figured Jennifer probably felt the same. They were each other's first love, the one who lit up their youth. They matched in values, in spirit, in everything. With Carlos, she'd have so much more to talk about. I didn't want to think about it anymore. It was too painful. So I brought it up myself. I suggested we end the marriage. Rather than waiting every day for her to hand me a sentence, I figured I'd finish it myself. Jennifer froze for a second, then asked why. I mumbled something about how having a wife made other girls stop wanting to hang out with me. She said nothing after that, just replied with a quiet, "Okay." We immediately went to the civil office, just like when we got married, fast and efficient. But this time, we didn't get the divorce certificate. We had to wait 30 days. 30 days, she was probably counting the minutes. My mind kept running wild. I thought she wouldn't come home during that month, but she did. She said she had work and locked herself in the study. Without Jennifer beside me, the bed felt impossibly large. I tossed and turned, unable to sleep. Suddenly, I smelled alcohol. I didn't know when Jennifer came in. She was holding something in her hand. "What's this?" I looked closer and my scalp went numb. It was the VR headset Tony had given me. I'd left it in the study drawer. "Can you tell me what's inside this?" she asked, staring right at me. I didn't know how to explain. If I told the truth, I'd never be able to lift my head again. I'd liked her for 8 years, but only dared to fantasize in secret. It was pathetic, creepy. It's nothing. You're pretty, and I'm a normal guy. Fantasizing a little, what's the harm? I've got lots of fantasies, not just yours. I had no idea what I was even saying, just rambling. Just a weird little hobby. What, you gonna call the cops on me? Jennifer let out a soft silver bell laugh. Then she did something I never expected. She untied the sash of her nightgown. The clouds parted, and moonlight poured in like a flood. In that moment, the soft light clung to my body. I trembled uncontrollably. What are you afraid of? Jennifer's voice was like a whisper in a secluded valley, tempting and intoxicating. All talk, no action? Jennifer, you... My throat tightened, my body even more so. Think of it as giving me something to remember, she murmured, her hands moving to places they shouldn't. If I could resist even now, I wouldn't be a real man. I immediately took the lead. Still, giving me a memory? Is that all this is? I couldn't shake the feeling that her words hid something I hadn't yet seen. Weren't you the one who wanted to leave? Jennifer's voice suddenly turned aggrieved. Wasn't it you who said you wanted a divorce? You're the one who didn't want me anymore. You say it, and we split clearly. You wanted this too. Then she bit my shoulder hard. A burning tear slid down my back. Damn, how had I never realized she could be so mischievous? Then what do you want me to do? Her voice cracked with tears. Yes, I fell for you. But I can't deal with all those women around you. I don't want to live a life where I'm constantly fighting mistresses off. It felt like a thunderclap cracked through my skull. Did I hear that right? Jennifer said. She liked me? I tried so hard not to fall for you. I avoided going out with you, avoided physical contact, kept reminding myself you're a player, not worth loving, but I couldn't help it. I can't do this. I won't spend the rest of my life as a bitter wife crying over her husband's cheating. She rambled on. Let's just end it here. One night, and I'll consider it closure. Tomorrow, we'll go our separate ways. A rush of joy exploded in my chest. Words couldn't describe it. Right then, only instinct could release what I felt inside. Babe, don't walk away. The night was short, but I knew starting now, I had all the time in the world to tell her everything I'd been holding in my heart.